guys. Welcome back to the tribe.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
So, as you all know, we are currently in Cairo, Egypt. It's very sunny, as you can see. I can barely see through my eyes.
Scorcher.
It's a scorcher. How many degrees? It's like 90 degrees now?
No, it's probably like 85.
85. So, but we're going to get through this. Okay, so we're going to start with the affirmation of the day. The affirmation of the day is, I am impeccable with my words.
I am impeccable with my words.
Okay, so the topic that we're going to get into today is beyond the 9 to 5. What are we doing? What have we learned? And just to play back on our experiences from the first video that we dropped and where we are today.
Well, we actually dropped 2 videos about the 9 to 5. The first 2 videos, we were speaking about how you can go beyond the 9 to 5, what does it look like. But now we're actually beyond the 9 to 5, and we're actually living it out. So we want to talk about what we're doing, what we got coming in the future, and how we're making money.
Right. Would you like to start?
Yeah, of course. Let's start.
Okay.
So we decided to take the leap of faith and actually lean on our talents, lean on our what we love to do. For me, it's music and blogging, and like we're doing right now, and social media content. But a lot of people feel as if it's hard to get beyond that because of their mindset. We have our imaginations run wild, except when it comes to money, right? We need to get beyond the thought of having to work every single day. For us, we just say, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to lean on our talents, our gifts. We're going to record. And for me right now, I'm monetizing my TikTok. So I go live. I teach about the nature of reality, quantum physics, and how that affects our everyday lives. So for me, that's making me a significant amount of money. Also just videos on my wall and things like that. Beyond that, I'm on X, or what we call Twitter, and I'm into the Web3 NFT type of thing. If you guys are aware of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, I'm into that heavy. So I'm a musician, as most of you know. So I've been creating NFTs out of my music. I've also been buying other NFTs, selling them for a profit, and things like that. So there are so many different ways that you can make money. And for me, it's not only the money aspect, it's the belief aspect. It's believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to go after your goals. You're not going to go after your dreams. You're going to stick strictly to the 9 to 5 timeline, and you're not going to feel as if you have the power enough to do whatever it is that you have these dreams of doing. So, like I said, for me, social media, Web3 technology and cryptocurrency, NFTs, and content creation, traveling the world, Brazil.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
It really was.
So,
yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off of Steve, there was a point in time where we were both working 9 to 5s. I was working remote at the time, he was also, and we figured out a way on how to monetize and make money without necessarily relying on these corporations. I came to realize that a job or a 9 to 5 is just a contract. It's a contract for you to come in every day, whether it's physically or online, but for you to be in accordance with them and them to control you during the time that they need you, and then you're off to be free. So, from what I learned from my experience, I've learned that I want even more freedom. I don't want to be under someone's thumb. I don't want to be micromanaged. I don't want to be told I have to come in on Zoom meetings, or I have to send out emails at this time, or I don't want to be controlled. And because I learned from that experience, and I learned how to, and Steve is a great teacher. He's teaching me. Steve's teaching me. My mom, my mother, I'm working for her company. She's an interior design and construction company. And even working for her, being self-employed for 20 plus years, like, that's huge, especially with the job market today. And that's one thing I definitely learned, that because we are in a very kind of like fluid time, especially when it comes to working. 10 years ago, you could get a job like this. You go on Indeed, you go on Monster, you go on LinkedIn, you can connect, you can get a job just off of you either know somebody or point of contact or whatever kind of relationships that you have and stuff of that sort. Whereas now you could be fully qualified, even overqualified, and still not get the position, and still not get the job. So it has taught me during these moments, during these periods, because even for me, there was a point in time where I was looking desperately, I was applying. You remember? This was just last year, actually. The situation happened with the job, the remote job that I was working with, and payment issues and stuff like that. And they ended up going through their situation. I can't put it out there, but they ended up going through their situations, which allowed me to look for other opportunities similar to that, which was a remote job. I couldn't find any remote jobs. I couldn't even find any in-person jobs because I was at that point, I was willing to either go in person, especially since I haven't worked an in-person job. I probably would say 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. So for me personally, I was even willing to go that extra mile, knowing that that wasn't going to make me happy. But I found I struggled through it. There was a lot of scams. There was a lot of back and forth. Oh, you got to come over here. You got to do this. You need to be bilingual. You need to speak this. You need to. It was a lot, and definitely I started to really depend more on my talents. And I often get all the time, "You're so dope. You're so cool. Like you should really push yourself." I was never I never had the confidence. I was always afraid. I was always afraid to stand on my own. I was always afraid to not have security. I was always afraid to not have something that says a status. I'm something within this world. And, Steve really showed me by him being independent and making money on his own that I don't have to necessarily rely on a 9 to 5. So throughout that process and throughout that time of looking, I probably applied to maybe hundreds of jobs. Like it was point that I was waking up. I was waking up 8 in the morning, and then sometimes to 4 or 5, just sending out, replying, making phone calls, calling temp agencies. It was crazy, and mind you, this was during the time I was staying in New York. So that to me, and besides the distance, because we were in Westchester at the time, a lot of the jobs that I was reaching out to, some were in the area, but a lot of them are in Manhattan. So I found it to be frustrating. I found it to be grueling. And I came to a realization that I really want to go full force with my talents and really go full force with something that I'm passionate about. And to be here right now, it really shows that consistency and really having a goal in mind can eventually get you there.
I agree, for sure. I mean, you could see from where we were, like, you're on YouTube, obviously, if you're watching this, you can look through the videos that we have, and you can see that we were in New York, we were shooting in our backyard. We had, like I said, 2 videos that discussed the 9 to 5, and at the time we had 9 to 5, so we had jobs. But at the same time, it was like we knew that our future wasn't going to be stuck in a 9 to 5. And here we are now in Egypt, and we're relying on our talents, we're relying on our gifts, and we know that we're going to make it. Like, it's not something that we're just guessing. Even during the transition of knowing we were going to come out here not having traditional jobs, we just knew in our hearts that we were going to make it happen. It wasn't something that was like, there wasn't even any fear in my body or my nervous system about it. It was like, no, I know I'm going to be okay. One, because of my belief system, but two, because I know I'm amazing. I'm an amazing person. She's an amazing person. We're both super talented. All the things that you guys are seeing on the YouTube, like all the details, that's Zoe. Like that's why I love exchanging energy creatively with her, because she's gonna go the extra mile. She's gonna work hard. So I definitely want to give you love and appreciation for that. And you guys, when you're watching this, know that she's super dope. So of course, in my own reality, I have my own thing going on. In regards to TikTok, like I said, I talk about the nature of reality, quantum physics, and all that good stuff, which helps people to navigate their own lives. So I'm monetizing now. I'm like, wow, like in the way people react to it, I'm like, this is amazing, because you can really, your voice matters. What you have to say, do, dance, sing, it matters. People want to see it. People want to hear it, so much so that you can eventually make money off of it. And I think that's what the 9 to 5 reality doesn't, just to make that matrix itself, doesn't want you to believe in yourself enough to do it. And yet you're working for a job who has a boss who followed their dream, who went for whatever they wanted to do, and now you're working for them. So if you look at it logically, you have the same ability, the same capability. The only thing that separates you from them is your belief system. So I think you got you there, Phil.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so crazy that you bring that up. Remember, I can't name this other company. I can't name any of the companies that I worked for because I signed non-disclosures. But do you remember that company that I worked for in Miami? We would take a car. We would have to drive early in the morning. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a political company.
Technically, I could say it, but
it was a political company. That's as far as I'll go. Worked with a lot of Republican candidates. That's as far as I'll go. And it was the most daunting, exhausting, frustrating, draining job, a company that I ever worked for. And I remember, because he liked me, I'm not gonna lie, kind of liked me. Because I was always on time, or for the most part, doing my work. I'd stay late. I would, I really care. Like, when I work with someone or I work on something, like, I really put my heart, I really put passion into it. And I remember we were all going around and just like getting to know each other and stuff like that, because it was a very small, intimate company. And I remember him saying that he had came to Egypt. I remember this. And he was like, yeah, I went to Egypt. I went there with my family, and like they scammed me out of like $1,000, and they wouldn't let me leave unless I paid them, and this, that, and the third. And mind you, at this point, we didn't even go to Egypt. But I remember thinking in my head, like, I can't wait to go. Unfortunately, I know you had a bad experience, or an experience, but me personally, I'm like, you're not going to sway me in my decision on going to and coming to this country. And I remember just sitting there, just letting him talk and stuff like that. And then, of course, it's like, has anybody else? And I was like, I've been to Hong Kong, I've been in Beijing, I've been to all these different places. He was just like, mind you, everybody else, like, they probably went to South America, or like, just the tip Mexico, the typical places. And I remember him like being like, just like, wow, like, okay, you're not just an average worker. You're not someone that's going to be here long term. You're someone that's coming in here for the time being, collecting your check, and you're out. And the people around the office felt that. So what did they do? They heightened up their negative energy, and they tried to spew it on me by isolating me, by making me feel uncomfortable. There were times I came home, I was crying. Like, I did not like that job. And I can say it now because it's like a couple of years later. I did not like that job. Honestly, that was one of the worst jobs I've ever worked. But for me, I realized in that moment, a lot of those people were very miserable with their lives. And although they may have had dreams and I want to do this, goals, and this, that, and the third, when I look back and I reflect, I'm just like, wow, like, I'm so happy that I went through that moment and I went through that experience, because it allowed me to really appreciate the life and appreciate any opportunities that I get and I gain for myself, and that I can create for myself. So going through that experience showed me I'm not going to continue to follow and do and this and make myself small in order to fit in, or in order for me to be in a place, in an environment that doesn't accept me fully. I'm going to utilize the tools that we get out of the situation that I was in, because of the goals that we had in mind, and then structure ourselves to obviously be here. And not only did we come to Egypt once, we came to Egypt twice. 2 different occasions. So the whole point of that story is, when you hear somebody and you hear their negative experience, don't look at it as a sway, where you're like, I'm going to take this person's word at value, and I'm just going to go based off of what they say, and never going to go, I'm never going to do this, or I'm never going to amount to, or I don't think I have what it takes. You take that opportunity, you listen with a grain of salt, you assess, you understand the situation, and then if you're passionate about it, you go after.
And you gotta remember too, people carry who they are everywhere they go. I'm not you, bro. Like, how I articulate myself, how I speak, how I move, who I am is gonna get you a completely different reality than what you manifested.
Right.
My reality has nothing to do with yours, although we're connected in some way. But the way that you give off your energy is obvious. It's obvious to me the way that you give off your energy of why you got scammed or whatever the case is. But beyond that, I think that people seem to get stuck in these particular timelines because they don't believe in anything other than what they think is true for them because their parents told them that this is what it is, and their friends told them that this is what it is, and people tend to just believe that and off of blind faith, and this is just how their mind works, right? So they'll have a job and they'll go home at night and they'll contemplate quitting. They'll contemplate wanting to do something different. They'll never take action on it because of fear and the security that these jobs give them. But in all reality, you're sucking your own soul dry, your own spirit dry. And if you can really assess the situation, you know that you're talented, you know that you're amazing, but your mind is constantly whispering these subconscious thoughts that, hey, if you do this, A, B, C, D, and E will happen. And if you do this, you'll be okay. You'll have security. You won't have to worry about anything, but you won't have a soul left by the time you're done with the damn job. So that's why I always push people to do your thing, fear less, and do it without worrying about other people's perspectives or even your own subconscious mind's negative projections.
Right. Segue. Okay, so the word of the day is Numina.
Numina.
Numina means spirit that lives in places or things.
Numina, right up my alley.
Where there's a good one that.
To put it in a sentence, when I walked into her home, I felt the numina of the environment, the spirit that lived in the house.
Okay, good one. Good one. I thought it. So back to the topic. Again, I have my own experiences. Steve has his own experiences. And what I'll say is, I have been on this earth for 32 years now. 32 years now. And I've been working since I was 15, 16. I've worked odd jobs. I've worked numerous jobs. I've worked many different occupations, many different fields. And one of the things that has always continued to resonate, continue to push me, or continue to come into my reality in some shape or form was true. So to be here again in this moment at this time, I'm extremely grateful because I realized the 15-year-old kid that wanted to travel or wanted to go to these places or wanted to model or wanted to do all these amazing things now has the opportunity by doing it, by not being under a contract, not being under a spell, not having to do things to do it. I'm doing it based on my own freedom, my own at will, my own ability. And it's just amazing and it's beautiful to see how everything comes back in full circle. Don't, just because somebody says not to do something or, oh, look at this, or you don't have the money, or you're not rich, or you're financial, whatever the case may be, if you solely believe within yourself, that one person is going to believe in you, and then the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and then it's going to spread. And that's how you're going to manifest your reality to be where it's supposed to be.
Absolutely beautiful, but thank you for your perspective as usual. I think that I believe that we create our reality. And I think the beauty of these types of videos is that you can look back at these videos and see the progression of our reality in the most literal way. You can see where we started talking about 9 to 5 jobs. Then you can see after each video the progression of our reality. Now we're in Egypt talking about the fact that we're leaning on our talents and going beyond the jobs, right? So you literally watched our manifestation happen in real time. So there's no excuses really, only the excuses that we give ourselves. And other than that, you're going to manifest what you like in your reality because I truly believe that we are creators. And it goes far beyond money. It goes far beyond any of those things because you get those things due to belief. You act on what you think. I think I want a bag of chips. I get up and get it always starts with the thought. So the thought begins it, the action multiplies it, and you see it within your reality. So never give up. Follow your dreams, follow us as we follow others.
Right. All right, so we're gonna get into phrases. The Arabic phrase of the day is shukran,
Shkran.
shukran, which means thank you. It is one of, it was actually the first word.
Yeah.
This was our very first word that we used out here when we came out here in 2023.
Like parents. Shkran.
Yeah,
Shkran.
shukran. And like it was the only word that we knew, and then we started to obviously get an understanding and understand the basics and stuff like that. But it is an important word, especially traveling to a lot of these Arabic countries and saying that, because it is a way of being thankful. Okay, so our final thoughts. Did you want to say and then I go?
Yeah, make it quick. Final thoughts for me. Take that leap of faith. Be brave. Don't listen to all the negative self-talk and the negative self-talk that is projected outwardly in other people that become outward talk that tell you not to follow those dreams, goals, and desires that you have in your heart and your mind. They're there for a reason. They were implanted in you for a reason. Somebody out there needs your gift. This is literal. Imagine all the people that have done the things that didn't do the things. We wouldn't have a Sony camera right here. We wouldn't have buildings. Like, it comes from the minds of dreamers. So dream big and make the dream come true.
Right. Yes. Dream big. No matter what people say, no matter your bank account, no matter what you have going on, your situation, if there's something that you really, 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 really want, go after it. Like, this is literally your life. This is your life. This is your life. And if you continue to wait around for people, or you continue to have negative thoughts, or you don't want to do this, or you talk yourself out of certain situations, knowing that you really want to go through with it, you are only going to live in regret. And I'm so, so happy. I'm so grateful. And I'm so thankful that I don't regret anything that I've ever done in my life. Like, of course, there's moments or whatever, but for the most part, like, I understand that these were lessons. These were building blocks to get me to this position of where I am today. So, I say all that to say, this is our Beyond the 9 to 5. We're literally doing exactly what we said and what we manifested. It took some time. It took some months. It took cultivation. It took hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. However, it has allowed us to be literally where we want to be. And I think that's what's most important. And we're doing it for us. We're not doing it for you. We're not doing it for family. We're not doing it for friends. We're not doing it for hype. We're not doing it for any of that. I'm doing it for me. Steve's doing it for him. We're doing it for us. So do something for you and watch it manifest and watch it come about within your life and within your reality.
Beautiful.
Thanks, babe. And until next time, stay tuned.
Make sure you subscribe and like. Comment at the bottom. It's all good. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Drop a comment below. Let us know your ideas. Let us know what you feel about going beyond the 9 to 5. Maybe your fears, maybe your dreams. Let's talk about it in the comments. We'll see you there.
Stay tuned.
Okay.